Alright, as requested, here's a video for removing the subframe from the grip. This is a great step for cleaning. The main advantage is you don't have to worry about your cleaning product being plastic safe. There are some solvents that can pull the oil out of the plastic and make it kind of whitish, cloudy, hazy color. There are some solvents that can make the plastic very brittle, and when your plastic gets brittle, it can crack and break and distort. That's no good. So the good news is Steyr gave us a full metal subframe that we can remove from the plastic grip, clean it up as you would any normal metal gun parts. For cleaning the plastic grip, I just use dish soap. No reason not to. Takes all the oil off and cleans it well, just like it cleans your dishes. Works great in a plastic grip. So to remove this, the first thing, this is a original M9 and I've got the manual safety. If you have an A1, you likely do not have a manual safety, so this first step would not apply to you. I need to remove this pin, and in order to do that, I have to pull up this spring. There's a little spring that I can just pull up. In the Court disassembly guide, which is very good, he recommends using a paper clip. I don't generally carry around paper clips. I don't push paper clips for a living. I don't have them around. But with this one screwdriver, I can do anything I want to do on my Steyr. So I just use my one screwdriver here, pull the spring up just a little bit, and then I can get the pin, just push it with my thumb. I can get it started, and then I can remove it from the other side. And it pops right out. And then here I'm hoping you can see the spring in the hole, and then you're just trying to pull that spring up, and then you can remove your little pin, and there's the little notch that the little piece of wire sticks in. Step 2, we have to remove the takedown lever. A lot of people have trouble getting takedown levers out. Everybody's got a favorite way to do it. Step 1, it needs to be lined up. You can see there's a line on the frame, and to come out, the takedown lever has to be in line with that. If you line it up, you don't have good purchase with your finger. You can't get your finger underneath it, and you can't pull it out. And it can be tough. Some people come at it from this side with a brass punch or something. I don't like doing that because you're right around here around the frame rails. This is a hard screwdriver. You wouldn't want to use that. I just don't like doing that. So the way that I do it is I pull the takedown lever straight down, get my finger under it, where I've got a good solid, got a good amount of finger on the bottom of the takedown lever, and then as I'm pulling it out, I rotate it up, push my thumb against the grip, and then usually it'll pop right out. And there it goes. And you're not really hurting anything. It makes a big loud noise, but it's really of no consequence, and then you can pull it right out. Set it to the side. Next thing we have to do is push down the key lock. And you can use your Steyr key for this. I still just use my same screwdriver. You can see my little buttons a little chewed up. A little cosmetic issue like that never bugged me. And when you push this down, you're going to be able to pull the subframe up almost from these rails. As you pull it up, this key lock, there's nothing holding it into the subframe. The grip is what holds it. So once this grip goes away, this key lock can then spring up. If you look at it, it'll poke you right in the eye. That's what happened to me the first time I did it. So knowing that, hopefully I can spare you the same pain. And as you start to pull the grip from the frame, you want to be following that key lock with your thumb, so that when it finally comes free, the key lock hits your thumb. Also, on the flip side of this, there is nothing in this slide lock here. There's nothing holding the slide lock to the subframe. It's held between the plastic grip and the metal subframe. When the plastic grip goes away, this slide lock and its spring can come flying off, so I always keep my fingers wrapped around on the bottom side so I can pull this thing out without bending or mangling any of the parts. If I push it straight down, the top of the button catches on the plastic grip. So regardless of what tool I use, I want to make sure that I'm airing to this side where I can get it started And then once it's started, I can put my screwdriver down, hold the gun with my right hand, and then pull the subframe up. As I get it to about here, I got to put my thumb where I can catch the key lock, and then there we are. Now my plastic grip is ready for the dish soap treatment. You can see all this brass and all this nasty stuff that's in the grip. That stuff is also in your sear mechanism, which is another reason you're removing this to clean it. Here's the key lock and its spring. That spring is probably the most lost part that comes up on the board, so definitely want to make sure that you are careful when you remove it from the grip. That's the great time to lose it. The slide lock, I just lift it up and kind of pivot it out, and then the little spring comes right off, and then there's a subframe. Done deal. This is all you need. This is the farthest you need to take your pistol apart. From here, you can hose everything out with solvent. You can get a toothbrush in and scrub around a little bit. I like to use a hot water rinse to blow all of the debris that the solvent has picked up, and blow it out with an air gun. You can use the canned compressed air if you don't have an air compressor, something to get the water and more debris out. And at that point, you can wipe it with your patches. You can lube it up, use your favorite lube of choice, and it'll be clean and excellent. So now, fast forward, you're all clean, good. Let's put this thing back together. And I always start with the slide lock spring, and it hooks into a little hole in the subframe. I'm not sure you can see that on this little camera, but the little bend here goes in the hole, and then the loop goes around this little post. And then I take the slide lock, and this is kind of tricky. It goes on, it starts on this side, and then it goes to the other side. I don't know if you can see that, where it's kind of going like that. And I'm going to have to guide it along, and then the holes will line up. It'll sit on this little tab on the subframe, and then obviously go over the subframe here. Flip it over. Now I got to make sure I keep holding that with my fingers. If I let go, that will want to come loose. And then I'm going to put my my key lock in, put it in the hole and push down, and just keep pushing it. Now I got the whole thing sandwiched. I can take my grip, and then the two little tabs on the bottom rear of the subframe go into the two holes in the plastic grip, and then the whole thing just kind of pivots down. So I'm squeezing here, I got to squeeze my key lock in, and then I can pivot the whole shebang right in the grip. The key lock never lines up, none of us are that lucky. So I just take my key or my screwdriver, whatever I'm going to use, and get it to line up, and it pops, no problem. I take my takedown lever, push it in. It has to be lined up with the line to go in as well as come out. And then the last step would be to put the manual safety lever in, if you have one, and I get it started, and then I kind of cradle it like this in my hands, or I can get my screwdriver in to lift the spring. I've done this more gracefully. And slide it in. I give it a little wiggle to make sure that the spring is actually in the groove. And there you go. Now all you have to do is put your slide back on. Good to go.